man. Talk your talk. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing, man? Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, so look, man. All right, so Joe Buttons and 50 Cent, man. How do I start this? Joe and 50 Cent is at it. This is an age-old beef, and I'm going to explain it later on in the video. If y'all don't know, explain it later, but right now, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to get to this. Is Joe Budden trying to sue 50? But yeah. If you're new here, this is Torture Talk. Like, share, subscribe. Hit the thumbs up button if you like the content. All the beautiful, single, sexy ladies, put one in the chat. All the fellas, y'all know where to find the ones at. Just don't harass them. I don't sell no merch, but I do have content. Absolutely free, but if you want to leave a donation, link is in the description. Cash App. No more PayPal. They called me the Hidden Gem and went from 1,300 subscribers over 16,000. Thank y'all very much. Thank you, thank you. And yes, I am the king of the north. Let me know what kingdom you from. So look, we're going to get right to the content, man. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I hope y'all having a great morning. I hope y'all, wake up in good spirits. And I hope y'all had just some pancakes, sausage, and eggs, and all that good stuff. If not, then sucks to be you. Don't break fast. You know, it's breakfast. Break fast. Don't break fast, you know. All right, so let's get it. All right, man. So you already know what it is. Links will be in the description. Let's get it.
Oh man, so Joe Budden has finally responded to 50 Cent, and that man was trying to be as mature as possible, but 50 has continued to find a way to clown the man. So Joe said this while on his platform.
Me? Yeah. I've been getting negativity highlighter. 50 been posting me for 7 days in a row. What else happened this week? Something else happened this week. It's just been a week.
Yeah.
It's been a week.
I was at the hospital.
Irv funeral.
Wednesday. Dude was like, a dude saw.
So I want to speak on this whole Irv thing. I didn't know Irv Gotti. I didn't know him. I do know that him and 50 Cent had a beef that was on the lines of life and death, the life and death situation, or they was somehow involved, or they knew, or they was a part of, or they laughed, or whatever. Anything you want to think of, I remember Irv and them laughing about this whole thing with 50 Cent. You know what I'm saying? So again, I don't play with people's lives. I don't play with death and stuff like that. I just don't do that. You know what I'm saying? However, I can't stop 50 from feeling the way he feel because they had a beef. And if that's how that man feels, then there's nothing I can say. So I'll be honest with y'all. Well, I'll give my take of what I think Joe should have did. Let's keep going.
He was like, yo, Ice. Look, though, he's like, yo, 50 on your man ass, yo, 50 on your man ass. I'm like, no, the niggas thought that was you.
That's the problem with the internet.
They thought that was real. I'm
that's
like,
the problem. That's right
not
there.
Joe, bro.
That right there is the problem with the internet. What? Like, my day was fine.
All right, ours wasn't. Yeah, like, nigga, whatever happened to
like
you,
nothing,
you don't get it.
It didn't change anything. Actually, quite the contrary, man. Like, I ain't one of the rapping niggas. He do that shit. I make money. I get paid.
Yeah.
Shout him out.
Anytime anyone, cook, nigga. Anytime one of them niggas with 30 million, 50 million followers post me good or bad, I get paid. If I have a problem with it, we getting lawyers involved. Like, what you want me to do? Because that's illegal. But
illegal?
Yeah, you can't take all these AI pics and just start. That's what Shorty going.
That's 100% facts. Now again, I'm not saying that you should get the law involved, but that's facts. You know, that's a form of discrimination. I believe Taylor Swift did that. She tried to go after the AI companies and said, no, you can't allow this. You know what I'm saying? But for some people, you can create it, but you can't post it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't post it. And I think that's what she was saying. Like, it's embarrassing. It's like all these sexy looks like her and it's not her. But we know it's AI. But now these AI generated photos look like they're exactly like the person, the lighting and everything. It's crazy. It's crazy. I seen a whole full video, Michael Jackson and it looks like Michael Jackson, 100%. And this is just the beginning of it. I can imagine 5 years from now, it's gonna be out of control.
Court for it. Can't do that. But I don't have a problem with it, and I think that's corny. And that's 50. I got all the respect in the world from. But if I get tired of it and it stops paying, then yeah, it's lawyer time. Yeah, then it's this shit.
All right, so Joe like, man, I'm making money off of it. If I had a problem with it, I would sue. If I had a problem with it, I would sue.
If I have a problem with it, we getting lawyers involved.
So we're not saying that he was sued, but yeah. Now for an example, this one I believe is a real picture. But 50 posted this right here saying, why?
That's a real picture. I was actually at that show. That was, I believe that was at SOB's. I was at that show. That's actually a real picture. If that's the one, but he used to perform a lot with his shirt off. But I believe that is at SOB's. I was there, and yeah, let's keep it going.
You just left out Mermaids so fast, Joe. It's starting to get spooky. So I guess Mermaids is a club or a venue, and it sounds like he's alluding to Joe being pressed and run out of spot. Now Joe eventually responded to that. This person right here puts Dance 3 saying they ran Joe out the club last night, and Joe responds, "The streets, huh?" LOL. So in response to Joe saying that if he had a problem, he'll get lawyers involved, 50 Cent right here says, "So that's the plan. You gonna sue me, Joe? Ha ha ha. I think you are mistaking me for someone else. I'm gonna get face to face with you so you can tell me about the therapy I need." So 50 trying to take this to the point of getting face to face with a man. I don't know, bro. That's kind of cool.
All right, so I'm gonna say this. Despite what y'all think, Joe Buttons is not scared of 50 Cent. He's really not. And I'm not saying that they would fight or wouldn't fight, but I'm gonna explain to y'all why in a few. But yeah, I mean, that's corny. I think what bothers 50 Cent about Joe is unbothered about a lot of this stuff. And Joe is very, how would I say this? He's very direct and to the point. He don't really beat around the bush with a lot of things. And on top of that, Joe is one of those type of people that he likes to talk. And I think that him and 50 Cent should do a show and talk about it. You know what I'm saying? I think they should. I really do. But I think that 50 probably wouldn't want to do it. But I think 50 likes to troll. But I think he trolled Joe Buttons. But Joe Buttons is being the mature guy in the room, and 50 doesn't like that. When you say 50, you think he needs therapy, I didn't take that as a disrespectful thing. I didn't take that as, maybe some people did because they're saying, well, he's cracking on a man's death. I didn't take that as disrespect. I think that everybody, especially black men, need therapy because there's a lot going on that we probably endure and don't even realize it. I do. You know what I'm saying?
What folks say in the comment section, dog? Niggas will go back and forth with Drake, but when it's 50, they want to sue. Once again, this is out of context. Them lawyers must have tapped in because them posts going. So y'all seen me cover before. I was posting all that AI stuff of Joe sleepwalking butt naked. He has since taken them posts down. So I don't know. Once again, Joe didn't say he will sue, but 50 may be playing into the story, though. Same dude that ridiculed Drake for suing.
Joe never said that he would sue. See, and this is what I hate about people on the internet. Y'all just want to run with a narrative so bad. He never said he would sue. He said if he felt like it was something, he would get lawyers involved. That's what he said. He didn't. So obviously he didn't feel like it's nothing. He said it was corny. You know what I'm saying? That's what he said. But I don't understand why y'all take things and run with it. It's like some of y'all just like problems. Like a lot of y'all love problems. Y'all love to just demonize people for some reason. I don't know. Y'all want to see confrontations. Like y'all like that. Y'all like that mob mentality, I guess. I don't know.
OMG, these podcasters should be banned for capping. Bro, why y'all being purposely dumb? The whole issue that people have with Drake suing is because it's stemming from a rap beef. Why do y'all keep trying to make false equivalences with that situation? Were y'all the niggas that make...
They do this all the time, these straw man arguments. They do it all the time to try to slide their grievances or whatever they have with somebody. They try to slide it in there. Like they do this all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like he's saying that the man need therapy, and that must have really hit him because look what he said after that. You know what I'm saying? When I see face to face, we gonna see if I really need therapy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so obviously he feels some type of way about that. So
Cookies and lunch. Like seriously, what y'all the niggas that he snuck inside the lunchroom to make cookies for the whole school with y'all fucking helmets on? Are y'all that fucking slow, bro? God, I'm in the video right here because I'm tired of reading these slow niggas speak, man. I'm out.
yeah. So I'm gonna talk to y'all real quick. All right. So look, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Joe Buttons and 50 has a beef going all the way back to when Joe was signed to Def Jam. I can't remember the guy's name, but when 50 and Joe, I believe they dropped together. They didn't drop at the same time, but they dropped around the same time. Pump It Up came out with Joe Budden's first album and 50's first album. Now, I want y'all to understand something about Joe Buttons. Joe Buttons was supposed to be the Drake of hip hop. Now, not in the sense of what Drake is today, but the sense of emotional, emo, not emotional like is in like he's a punk, more emotional like raw, how you feel, how you know what I mean, the mood. He created the mood. He's what they call an emo god. You know what I'm saying? Tupac was an emo god as well. So remnants of Tupac kind of trickled down into Joe Buttons. So Joe Buttons, he went against the music industry in a way where he made it kind of like Not Like Us. So Pump It Up, right? If you listen to the lyrics in Pump It Up, he's basically saying that he's going to take the music, he's going to take hip hop back and change it back to real rap. If you listen to the lyrics, a lot of y'all just listen to, y'all think it's a hit, but y'all don't listen to the lyrics. Go read the lyrics of the song. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry, Joe, we gonna take it back, player. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then even in Fire, he did the same thing. Now, there was one interview where Joe Buttons, not Joe Buttons, they called Joe Buttons the Neo, the Matrix, because they thought that he was going to be the next guy. You know what I'm saying? And 50 Cent and him had a rivalry. Now, it was one of those rivalries where, how would I say this? 50 Cent and Joe had the rivalry where it's not like they was rivaling, like they knew each other at this time. At that time, it was more like Joe and 50 who was gonna be the guy, because they were both on that level. 50 was more street, whatever. Joe was more, commercial but hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Then they got into a beef. I believe he got into a beef with G Unit. Game was one of the people. Banks was one of the people. And what's the name? So he did a song called Big Shot. He did a couple of joints, but the one that stood out, Joe Buttons, called Big Shots. And he was dissing him. And he did another joint too. So Joe did a couple of joints dissing 50 and what's the name? So I want y'all to understand, Joe Buttons is not scared of 50 Cent. He's definitely not scared of 50 Cent. They had their back and forth for a minute. I think that 50 did a joint, but he never directly came at Joe. You know what I'm saying? Never. Because I don't know if he thought Joe wasn't on his level or whatever, but he never directly came at Joe. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of them were scared of Joe Buttons. A lot of them were scared of Joe Buttons because he was an artist that was signed but had nothing to lose. He didn't care about it. You know what I'm saying? He was, and I don't want to say it like this, but he was a dope head. And this is all public records. I'm not like I'm picking on him, but he was a dope head, and he was crazy. Like, if you go back and listen to his freestyles, when he went to High 97 and Styles P and all of them was up there, and he went up there and cursed everybody out. You know what I'm saying? Like, Joe was definitely a man on a mission. He was by himself. So when he created Slaughterhouse, or they came up with Slaughterhouse, it was a big deal because before that, him and Royce the 5'9" was supposed to battle. Him, Royce, and there's another dude, they were supposed to battle. And Joe ended up not battling Royce. He went to the studio, and him and Royce, actually he did a diss on Royce on the end of one of his the last album, not the last album, one of his albums. I don't know if it was Padded Room. It might have been Padded Room. I'm not sure. But at the end, the last song, he actually was dissing Royce. And then Royce did something. And then they end up meeting up. And they end up becoming, what's the name? Then it was a whole thing with Joe and Wu-Tang. And one of the Wu-Tang members, not one of the members, but one of the security or whoever the guy was, he ended up punching Joe. And then Joe went live. And then Royce went at them. And it was a whole big thing. That whole saga, Joe Buttons, 50, G-Unit, that whole saga back then was epic. That's what hip hop was back then, man. That's what it was. And I think a lot of people don't understand that because they think Joe Buttons is just talking. Now, Joe Buttons was one of those guys that he was feared in the rap space. A lot of people didn't want to get on songs with Joe. A lot of people didn't. He was very feared, very feared. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to that pen. I remember he was battling the bull, they called Little B. I think it was Little B. And Joe wrote a verse right on the spot, smoked him. Right there, wrote it right there, and then spit it right on the spot. You know what I'm saying? And then he also had a beef with Method Man. Joe had a beef with a lot of people. He had beef with Method Man, whole Wu-Tang, Inspector Deck. Inspector Deck did a song dissing Joe. I don't know if y'all knew about that. I think it was called House Nigga. I believe that's what it was. And Joe did a joint over the Triumph beat, and he never released it. He spit a little bit of it, but he never released the joint because he said that he didn't want to give them too much, what's the name, and then they end up, what's the name. So him and Raekwon, they had a meeting that same day. The dude hit him. They actually, it's all on camera. Well, not on camera, but there was a picture with Raekwon sitting next to Joe, and they talking about what happened. You know what I'm saying? So Joe Buttons has a big, big history in hip hop. And I think a lot of people don't give him enough credit. He is one of the reasons why the internet is the way it is, to be honest with y'all, when it comes to hip hop. Him and Cannabis. Cannabis was one of the first, and then Joe Budden TV, it still says Joe Budden TV, all that stuff. So, but that's the history between Joe and 50. They had a big back and forth back in the day, and the old men now, still arguing about it. And I think that they both just stayed out of each other's way. Now, how I feel about 50 having people go to the club, and I don't think that happened. I think 50 was just trolling. And I don't think that 50 is really going to do anything or say anything to Joe. I think 50 just says what he says. And I mean, not to say he ain't real, because he's definitely one of those guys. But I just don't think that he's in the position where he would do something like that. Maybe he'll talk to him, but putting hands on people, I don't think 50, he's not doing that. He's not going to put his hands on Joe. Like, nah. Plus, Joe squabbles up too, so it ain't like, oh, man, like, Joe's too old. He'd be like, I'm too old. I ain't trying to fight you. You know what I'm saying? But Joe was about making money. And I always thought that Joe was gonna actually, because I think Joe was in talks to be on one of 50 shows. Power, I believe it was Power. It was one of those shows. Joe was in talks to be on there, and it didn't happen. But definitely think that would have been a good look. But either way, man, check out that history, man. If y'all want to look it up, look up Joe Budden's history. Also, Joe had a big thing with Ransom. Ransom is one of my favorite rappers of all time, and him and Joe had a big issue too. So Joe had an issue with a lot of people, man. Drake, he had an issue with 50, Banks, Game, who else? M, Royce, who else he had issues with? He had issues with a lot of people, man. And not issues as in like personal, just more like rap. Because Joe at the time he was the best. You know what I'm saying? That's how he was. So, but thank y'all for joining me. You know what I'm saying? Hope y'all have a good morning. 12 o'clock show coming up. You know what it is, man. See y'all. Peace. Bye.